Hello and thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Hello everyone, checking back in on the Canadian MJ space. It's been a very fun week, that's for sure. Today was a profit-taking day for the Chart Guys community. Certainly enjoying our gains over the last couple of days, so we'll go over how it played out, things that we were looking for over the past 2 days, and what we anticipate going forward. So MJ broke resistance. A lot of names now are breaking all their resistances here. And I also want to look at IMLFF, and we'll look at that at the end. So we had a lower high here. This was a daily equilibrium on MJ, and this is the ETF where we had our low, high, higher low was there. Let me make sure my magnet's on. Then we had our lower high right here, then a higher low. The range got tighter and tighter, and today was a bull break. That being said, the fact that we broke bullish doesn't mean it's time to get in. There's a lot of other factors at play, and this factor was the fact that we had run 5 green days in a row. So if you've already run significantly when you head into a key resistance, even if it breaks, that doesn't mean time to get in now. So we were taking profit today, and that's because things were overextended. The hourly RSI levels were really high, and we were just trying not to be greedy. So the low over the last 5 days, let's see, it was down at 30.57, and we made a move up to 34.27, so well over 10%. WEED was over 30% in 4 days. Cron was over 45% in 5 days. So the gains were there, and the bottom line is when we are short-term trading this market, we're going to lock in those gains, and for many people it's a month maker in a week or a couple days, and that's not something that we're just going to play around with. We're going to lock it in and do it all over again when the trade setup favors the entry. So the signal on this trade setup was first off the daily inside bar, and we were watching that all across the board. All the big four or the big three had their daily inside bars. Nope, it's the big four now. They had their daily inside bars to be watching, and they broke bullish. And then because we closed near the high of the day yesterday, we saw follow through today. And again, that's as I said in the video last time, the gap up open didn't follow through last week. You give me that same setup and I will make that same play again. And we all made it yesterday to play this gap up. Some of us taking profit in the morning, some of us taking partial profit, and then able to ride up a few more percent into today. So the hourly RSI on MJ, let's see how overbought we got. Almost right up to 80. So that was overbought. We had our high, low of the pullback on the hourly, lower high on the hourly, and then we're pulling back. And it looks like we have some bearish. Just want to touch base. There was an announcement that Gary Cohen is resigning. He is in the White House, and essentially, just to dumb it down, he was the guy in Trump's office that was anti-tariffs, and now we have this trade war narrative that the news is going to keep spinning, but it is bearish on the market, and the market is dumping after hours down almost 0.75%. Maybe it's down to 1% at this point, but that's what we're seeing right here with this after hours action. So we have to be watching potentially the markets, the U.S. sector, or I should say the U.S. markets could bring down the whole sector. The correlation today was wavering. It wasn't extremely strong, but if we see, the market down 1% tomorrow, that's only going to add magnification and help the bears follow through with this bearish reversal doji. This is a gravestone doji after that significant bull move. If we see a red day and a break of 33.50, we're going to look to confirm this candlestick. But because we broke the pattern bullish, we will be looking for a higher low to form to keep these bulls in control on the daily chart. So watching for bearish reversal candlesticks to be confirmed tomorrow, especially now because of this news that just happened less than 10 minutes ago. And we will be watching for a healthy pullback. Here's Cron. Cron is the strongest on the daily chart because of the NASDAQ uplisting. So here we are with the all-time high and our resistance, the only other resistance besides the all-time high, and now, of course, the high of today. But it's a bearish reversal candlestick. Again, we ran significantly, 45% or so in the past few days, and we are now looking to pull back. So 1339 resistance, and this is the Canadian Cron. And if we see a break of 1262 tomorrow, we'll look to confirm this reversal candlestick, and we look to the hourly time frame for more details. We can see that we still have an hourly higher low, so this is an important support level, 1256. If we lose 1256, we lose the hourly higher lows. Next level I'm looking down at is 1190, just these bases of consolidation on the hourly time frame. WEED, bearish reversal candlestick. So we were taking profit on the gap up and profit up at the high of the day. There was a lot of volatility in both directions. I'll look at WEED in the short term. But again, we've been breaking resistances here long ago, the $30 bull break. And if you were watching that $30 bull break, it was very clear that all traders were watching the same level. And we ran 2% instantly when it broke. And that's because a ton of stop buy orders were triggered. And then we saw this follow through. So it was very clear all these traders were watching this level. And we got the bull volume increase yesterday. And the gap up, it's a bearish reversal candlestick. The next resistance was up at 35.63. We pulled back from 34.55. So again, we'll look for healthy consolidation on the daily chart. And looking at the shorter term time frames, this 5-minute chart had great volatility. So took initial profit in the morning, took a little bit on the way up, and then I realized I had 30% of my position still in another account, and I ended up nailing almost the top, and that's obviously something that has a little bit to do with luck. But the little details that I was noticing was the high of the day of 34.50 broke, and there was very little follow through. So we only got 5 cents of follow through, and we started to pull back a little bit. I looked at the hourly RSI at that point in time, and I saw that the hourly RSI was in the mid 80s when we were up at the high of that candlestick. And then I looked at the overall S&P 500, which had just made a short-term bear break on the 5-minute time frame. So those three things together had me sell WEED, that 30% of the position, right around the 34.40s or so up here. And then there was a nice bounce. After that, I was done for the day because I was anticipating a bearish candlestick to form and some healthy consolidation on the daily. And I did not play this nice solid bounce, but there ended up being some really nice gains there where we bounced about 4 or 5% from the low. But we ended with some bearish momentum, which gives us the bearish reversal candlestick on the daily. So if we see a break, let's go to the hourly and pick out these supports. If we see a break of 32.62, we will have a lower high and then a lower low. And the next support I'm looking down at is 31.18. WED didn't build a ton of support on the way up on this hourly chart because it was such a strong breakout. It was more of a straight shot, not much building stair steps of support on the way up. Checking in on APH, bearish reversal candlestick. APH, of course, the weakest of the four, very clearly. It's not even close at this point. And we are looking at the lower highs not even breaking on the daily chart. If this were the case for the entire Canadian MJ sector, bulls would be holding their breaths and saying, okay, that was a nice bull move, but we didn't do anything to change the trend. Now, all these individual names have changed their trend, but APH has not. It is still a lower high, lower low pattern. And if we can't break 1541, it's going to remain that way. New resistance 1532, and we're going to pull back. So the hourly time frame support, we already lost the hourly higher lows. I'm looking at 1397, and then there's a bunch of support levels here. You can see every time we build a stair step, that's a support. So the low 1365, and then 1353, and then down to 1317. So there are support levels here, but again, it's a much weaker daily chart that still has not broken the daily lower highs. And right now, WEED broke well above what would correlate to 1795 on APH. So that's just some comparison. And let's do a comparison real quick. Let's throw in WEED. And just, look at this correlation. Look at it, how completely in sync it is. And let's see where it breaks. Right about there, this day. February 13th, it broke. And you can see a significant difference. So, ACB. Also made bull breaks on the daily, not as much as WEED. Resistance up here did not break, and that is at 10.6. Nope, that's not that 10.61. That's at 12.55. So 12.55 key resistance. Our new lower high is at 11.98, and we did hold up pretty well, probably better than all the other individual names in terms of the end of the day action. And the support that we need to hold is 11.48. So we have a lot of space above that. We have our high, low of consolidation, lower high, and still the potential for an equilibrium. But of course, if the sector goes bearish with bearish market tomorrow, we're going to be looking for ACB to follow along. Might just hold up a little bit better than the others. Checking in on IMLFF and InMed. Let's see if I can get the Canadian ticker here. Don't think so. So it's been on absolute fire on the daily time frame, which is why I'm checking it out. And this is a huge move. So in the past 5 days, we've gone from 54, and at this point, it's almost a 200% move. It's about 180 or so. So at this point, you do not want to be making any bullish entries. And I don't even know if you have the ability to short it. I certainly don't. But that's the direction I'd be looking in. And the bulls are extremely strong with the volume behind it. And we're breaking all kinds of resistances here as well. So the next resistance that I'm looking at is going to be up here at 150 and then all the way up to 170. And there's a lack of resistance. And this will be a good one to look to enter on consolidation. So we know that we're going to see healthy consolidation in the majority of these names because they broke their downtrends, and this was a very clear break of the downtrend. So we are looking for healthy consolidation and a higher low. And with this kind of move, we're going to see big-time volatility here. And when we pull back, we'll probably pull back let's see, 20%, and then we'll bounce 10%. If you want a volatile short-term name, watch IMLFF. And the hourly time frame certainly getting overextended. We're up at 90 on the hourly. The 4-hour RSI is up at 85. So we are very due for a pullback. And when we pull back, because we have not established much support, we're going to pull back pretty hard. So I personally would be walking up I wouldn't be in this trade at this point. I would have already taken profit in all honesty. But if you are in this trade, I would be walking up a stop loss level to make sure to capture that move, because when we pull back, it will be pretty hard and pretty fast. And potentially, maybe if we get another gap up open, that will be the final little climax before that does happen. But once we do pull back, keep an eye on the first bounce after the first pullback, because it's going to be a solid bounce. And I will be keeping an eye on that as we head into the rest of the week. So that's where we stand. I hope you all had a good week trading crypto something. We're trading something, and I'll see you soon.